welcome everybody through the episode 232 of the Modernize or Die podcast. I am your host, Daniel Garcia, and here with me is
Grant Copley. How are you doing today, Mr. Garcia?
Well, I would be doing better if my other computer wasn't playing and I can't get to it. I know, right? It's always hard to believe they work for a technology company, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's some multitasking right there, though. You're a podcast here, programming in the other room there. Got a lot going on.
Okay, welcome everybody. So let's just dive in. So for Ortus news, the big news is our end of the box was last week.
Yes, it was. So are you, we're back home now. Are you rested up? Are you still feeling a little bit of the exhaustion from just days and days of exciting content and stuff?
I am tired. We did a lot of walking, a lot of talking. I was a little sick on the way there, allergies and stuff, but I'm feeling better. About halfway through the week, I was feeling better. They did a lot of talking with people, and yeah. How about you?
Yeah, finally rested up. It took a couple days. And yeah, it was a combination of not just the preparation for the conference and everything, but also there was a lot of walking, but kind of in a good way. Like there were so many people that that we had great weather, so it was really nice to go out and walk. Sunny, I think it was like 60 to 70s.
Beautiful weather compared to last year. It was rainy and stuff, and
Yeah. I actually got inspired to walk. I even started just doing some laps around and
really.
yeah, and but with that said, I don't usually walk a lot, so yeah, I may have overdone it a little bit.
At the end of every night, my feet were hurting. And the nice thing too about this year, so if you haven't been into the box, it's a really nice facility, Optica. I like the venue. It's very modern. It's nice to get to. And our headquarters hotel this year was like a block and a half away, which was fantastic. Last year, it was like a mile and a half or something. It felt like 5 miles. It wasn't that bad, but it felt like I was walking, uphill both ways to go back and forth. And so this year being so close was just fantastic. So what was some of your favorite parts of the, well, first of all, some quick stats. First thing I want to do is thank all of our sponsors for sponsoring Into the Box. We've got Media 3, Computer Know-How, Foundeo, TerraTech, and Lucid Outsourcing Solutions. We want to thank all our speakers for coming out and presenting, and of course, all our attendees. Some quick stats. We've got 69 people attending on site, 16 people attending online, and we had 36 workshop attendees the day before the Into the Box started, with 19 of them enrolled for getting started with BoxLang, which is pretty exciting to see that many people are interested in BoxLang. And of course, one of the big highlights we'll talk about is BoxLang.
Yes, we had a big announcement. So BoxLang 1.0 officially released.
Officially released, announced. And actually, it came out like, I want to say like the day before or so. We just didn't tell anybody because we officially wanted to announce it that day for everybody. And then another really cool thing happened that week. Do you want to tell us what that was, Grant? We had a special visitor.
We did have a special visitor, and this was just surreal. So the El Salvadorian ambassador was visiting there with us.
The ambassador from El Salvador to the United States.
The United States, sorry, yeah. And she was there, and that was just wild to have her there. And she also spoke in part of the keynote as well.
She did, and then she also sat through the keynote. I did get a laugh when so she gave her speech. She was very nice person, very elegant, very well spoken, put together. You know that when she walked in the room, this was somebody important. And when she gave her speech, halfway through, she then wanted to speak in Spanish to the El Salvadoran members, and Luis was going to translate. And it was kind of funny because she did a very elegant speech. And then Luis was like, oh, yep, she pretty much said this, 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 and this. Thanks. And it was like, we love El Salvador, we love BoxLang, we love supporting people, and you can support us and all that. So I thought it was pretty funny. And then afterwards, she went to the media room with Luis and some of the others and interviewed them. And it was just a really, really cool thing to add to the conference to have her come out and support us. And for me, it was a highlight for me as well.
Yeah. Super cool. And definitely going to make between her being there and then the BoxLang release, definitely made for a memorable year.
I'm going to catch up on the chat. Oh, we got David Bellinger saying it's on. Giancarlo Gomez saying hello. Hey, Giancarlo, it was great seeing you last week. Are we coming from Fiesta Box? Yeah, still. Luis did do an awesome translation. It was like, do this, do this, do this. We're done. Yay, El Salvador. It was the Cliff Notes. It was a short version, if you get that reference. Do you? You're married. One of my favorite things into the box is seeing everybody again. It's almost like it feels like it's an annual family reunion of sorts. where, people that you meet, people that you talk to, obviously just for us Ortus people, because we're a virtual company, the only time we ever see each other physically is either at retreats or conferences. So that's always nice seeing everybody. But then also a lot of the attendees who we don't get to see often, like Giancarlo. It was great hanging out with him. David, we did definitely missed you, but several others. Scott Steinbeck was there. Miss seeing Scott. Usually at Into the Boxes when we see him and hang out with him. So that's one of my favorite parts, just seeing everybody. It's like a family reunion of, who's doing what, how's the family, how's, seeing everyone's, all the proud parents bragging on their kids. I'm one of them. Yeah. So how about you, Grant? What's some of your favorite parts?
Well, I mean, that one in particular. I mean, just seeing all the familiar faces, and it is our time of the year to kind of catch up and, like you said, find out how everyone's doing personally, how their kids are doing, what kind of stuff they've been working on, and also just getting to see like what they're excited about. So obviously, a lot of people this year are excited about BoxLang, and that was see. I heard a few mentions of CB Wire, which I wasn't expecting, but there's some excitement there, and that hearing those things makes me even more excited about it. So yeah, I think that kind of that has to be my favorite part of it. Is just getting to spend that time together with everyone.
Yeah. Well, how did you did a CB Wire workshop? How did that go?
It went good. Yeah, it went really good. We had a full day of CB Wire, and we had a few attendees. Most attendees went to BoxLang, which is completely understandable. I would have gone to BoxLang myself, but
Me too.
yeah, it was a great workshop, and in fact, Michael Rigsby was a part of that workshop, and he even had a session on CB Wire this year. So I didn't
Nice.
present CB Wire. Michael Rigsby did, and he did a wonderful job. So if
Nice. I know
Michael,
we
thank
had, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just telling Michael thank you. He did a wonderful job on his session for
Yeah,
CBY.
absolutely. And Michael also brought his karaoke set up for Happy Box, which is really cool. We had
Did.
I was impressed with many of the singers. Eric Peterson belted out a really awesome Journey song. I tried joining him on the chorus an octave lower, but I'm a pip. I am not Gladys Knight. But he did a great job. Saeed did a great job. Charlie Earhart, oh my gosh. He did a great job. And I knew all the songs, Charlie. And there are others too.
He was doing all kinds of music. At one point, he did Brooks and Dunn. He asked me, "Is there?" He was like, "What kind of country music do you like?" And I was like, "Well, '90s Brooks and Dunn is peak." And
Both
so
kinds,
I didn't
country
know,
and Western.
I didn't know he was going to get up there and do it, but he did it and killed it. So
Wait, who was that?
Charlie,
Charlie. Oh yeah. See, I left at like 9 o'clock ish because I was getting pretty tired, but I know people kept going. And Micah Rigsby, like halfway through, he's like breaking out and he's like performing. And that dude, I know he's in the chat right now. You're a performer, man. You did awesome.
pipes too. Yeah.
And then I did a workshop with Jacob Beers, development hosting using Docker, CI/CD, and AWS. And we had a few people in there, and it was good. And I think the people got some feedback on the ones that attended. We tried giving them something tangible they could use to go home and do stuff, and I think we did that. And so overall, I thought it was a great workshop day. But you're right. The big dog was the box link session, as it, I'm not surprised. But yeah, it was great. And the happy box, of course, we had besides karaoke, we also had the mariachi band and some of our Ortus people. Jorge was out there singing, and Jonah was out there dancing, and among others. But it was a really good time.
If you haven't been to Into the Box, you might not know, but I think almost every year, at least every year I've been, we have a mariachi band at Happy Box, and yeah, they're fantastic.
Yep, Happy Box is our party the first night of the conference. And so we get together, and it was really nice upstairs, beautiful weather. It's a nice balcony location upstairs to the Optica, and we just have fun. And it was a party, and people just hanging out and talking and singing and dancing, and yeah, it was good. And then what else did we? Any other highlights of the week for you besides the food? The food was great.
Yeah, no, yeah, the food was really good this year. I mean, it's not to say that it wasn't other years, but it was really good. I don't even know who we had cater it, but yeah.
Each for lunch each day we had I think Chipotle one day, Chick-fil-A another day, and Potbellies another day. That was just the lunches.
Oh.
But then at night we had different speaker dinners and the Happy Box, and as a team personally we had some dinners as well. And everything was just top notch. Even the speakers dinner I thought was just fantastic. That was that mission. It was a really good year, and the weather did help. It'd be 70 degrees and it's beautiful out there. You're happy. You want to be happy. Everyone's happy. I personally didn't have any drama with travel. I know some of our team members, I think, had some issues getting back. I think Raymond Camden ended up in Texas, I think, at one point for a while, but I think he got home okay. But Yeah. So how about you in the chat? I know you got some people there. What was some of your favorite parts of Into the Box? I know Giancarlo, you mentioned WebSockets on BoxLang Command Box, which is awesome. And I heard a lot of good things about that session. Let's see here. Though looks like we're gonna have some. Apparently somebody was videoing some of the karaoke, so don't be surprised if some of those clips show up on social media at some point. I know personally I did a lot of interviews with different attendees and different people and team members, and we'll see how those come out, what the marketing team's gonna do with that, assuming any of them are any good because I was in it. But hopefully we get some of those out as well. And
Yeah.
so just to let everybody know, we are already talking about Into the Box 2026. No dates are set yet. We are looking around the same time frame, end of April, early May at Optica. Nothing is set in stone, but that's kind of what we're thinking at the moment. Once we have things finalized and set, we'll definitely announce that and start making plans to come next year. I know next year I didn't get to do any sightseeing this year, partly because I was like really tired and kind of getting over stuff. I didn't really feel like going out there, but it would be kind of nice to get out there and see some stuff.
Yeah, last year I didn't get to this year, but last year I had some time and went out and saw the National Mall and
Yeah.
the Lincoln Memorial, and yeah,
Did you walk around or did you get those scooters?
no, I walked, which is
Oh
a
man,
I never realized how much of a walk that is, but
it's a little bit of a hike.
a little bit, yeah.
Well, last year, Gavin and Kurt Gratz, they rented scooters and like zipped around all over. And then Gavin was sending pictures about it, and I was just too tired and just kind of out of it this year. But maybe next year we can do that, man.
I do remember. I actually do remember. I was I was walking. I can't remember. It might have been John Clausen I was with. We were walking and they zipped by us on their little scooters, and I was in that moment. I was pretty jealous because I think
Yeah.
my legs were starting to hurt.
How about next year, Grant? Why don't we make a point of at some point getting some scooters, assuming the weather is nice, and let's zip around.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm all for
Awesome.
it.
Okay, so the short version, the Luis recap of In a Box is it was a lot of fun. Everyone loved it. We had a great time, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Sound about right?
Yeah,
Okay, so moving on, because we could talk about Into the Box
we
ad
could.
nauseum.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. So some of the product releases are some of the highlights from the keynotes. CodeBox 7.4, you can write your entire app in BoxLang or both. We have a new BX default template. CodeBox will automatically detect your language and operate seamlessly. But it'll be better in BoxLang because everything will be better in BoxLang when you work with CodeBox and stuff. And we're also going to update the CodeBox CLI to generate BoxLang code. Following that, there's some exciting CBWire what's coming announcements. You want to talk about that?
Yep. So we are. You can already use CBWire with BoxLang. You do have to use the compat module currently, but we are working on making it where you don't have to. It'll be BoxLang native. We'll have support for the BX and BXM files, and even have a module that's got native parsing, which will make it a lot faster for like single file components. And yeah, I've especially after the conference and talking with Michael and a few other people about kind of where we want to go with CBWire. We've got a lot of big things that are planned for the next year. So better error handling and pulling in some Livewire updates to add some features. So lots of stuff there.
You did get a kick out of the keynote. You were doing your slides, and then all of a sudden there was a slide with this stuff. You're like, oh, hey, look what's new. I think somebody snuck in a slide on you that
Well,
you
that
weren't
would
quite
have been
expecting.
Luis for sure. Yeah, he snuck that in on me.
Keep you on your toes.
He does.
Yep. And then another one we had was Content Box 7 is coming. As you can imagine, it's BoxLang compatible, BoxLang first, BoxLang compiled, BoxLang. A new admin, block editor, new features, and continuing migration to Alpine.js. So there's lots more we talked about. You can certainly go online and find the keynotes for days 1 and 2. And check out all the awesome things that we're going on about and do that. But for now, we've got a few things we wanted to mention with Ortus. We've got Command Box Pro. I think we might have mentioned this last time, but it's so cool. We want to mention it again. Command Box Pro, some of the features supports SLA and support from Ortus. We do include that service manager module where you can create whether it's on Unix, Mac, or Windows, it's an operating system service to start automatically. You get a ForgeBox Pro account with every Command Box Pro license, and you got the multi-server features. Technically, you don't need the Pro to do multi-server features, but it certainly will help, especially if you need help getting it set up. Some of the automatic JDK management and the SNI support allow you to have multiple SSL certs on the same IP address. Something you definitely want to check out.
Yeah.
A couple other things you want to mention there, Grant? While I paste this link?
Yep. So we also have expert Elasticsearch and OpenSearch consulting services. So we'll be posting a link to that. And anytime I think of that, I immediately think of John Clausen because he has done a number of talks on Elasticsearch and he is a guru on it. But yes,
On a lot of things.
he is a guru. Yeah, he's a guru on everything. But optimize your search capabilities with consulting from us using Elasticsearch or AWS OpenSearch. And we also have
Go ahead.
database management made simple. So if you are needing help with your database, we have services available that we can help out with that as well.
Rent a DBA. Or
Yes.
hire a DBA. It might sound better than rent a DBA. Augment your staff with a DBA from Ortus Solutions. Okay, so let's go and wrap up the Ortus section with BoxLang news. As we mentioned, BoxLang 1.0 released. Do I have an applause thing on here?
I will give a round of applause. That's all. That's as good as it gets, guys.
I don't know if I just did the applause mixer on my thingy. And I don't know if do I have one here too? Here, I can't hear it. Whatever.
That's totally real, everyone.
That's what I get for messing around during an episode. Okay. Anyway, another very exciting thing, we've got BoxLang Academy that was released. This is kind of an evolution from CFCast. CFCast is still there doing what it does, but BoxLang Academy is another e-learning with an emphasis on BoxLang, and I believe it is free for the rest of the year, for a year. So if you want to go there, get an account, we've got some of the different BoxLang videos, how to get started. We'll be adding more content as we go, as always, but go and check that out. Thanks, David. Apparently, whatever I did worked. He heard something, even though I didn't hear it.
I also heard the applause just kept going. I was worried it wasn't going to stop.
It says the crowd is still going nuts. Does that mean it's still playing, or are we good?
I think we're good now, but it went on for a good bit.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
We also have some BoxLang virtual machines now on AWS and Azure. And pretty soon we're going to also have them on Google and IBM. And we've got some links. You want to paste those in there?
Will do. I had a quick question about that too. So is that one of those where essentially it's already pre-built? If you're using those services, you can just go in and basically launch a virtual machine.
Yep, I believe it's for the AWS one anyway. It's an AMI that you can select that. It'll have everything you need pre-configured. There's a per hour cost. I want to say it's like 25 cents an hour or something from us to do it. I have not looked at the Azure ones, but I assume it's something similar. Could you do everything yourself? Absolutely, you could. You can create your own EC2 and you can do everything you want on your own in AWS. But if you want to kind of have a nice jump start from Ortus and know something that's, some better practices in place, the best practices in place, use our AMI and get started the right way or a good way.
Reinvent the wheel.
Absolutely. And then BoxLang migrations are now happening. A few companies deployed their apps the day after the stable release was announced. I think they were saying 3 or 4. That's also including when last year Sean Corfield took an early release version and upgraded one of his sites that he was stuck on an older version of Rilo Lucy, like a 4 or 5 version. And with the changes they made in Java going to Lucy 5, he couldn't do anything with it. And so with BoxLang, though, he could do something with it. And he was able to go through and update it and get that out there, which is awesome to hear. But then even at Into the Box, we had others that were saying they're going live. And I've heard other people even talking about, hey, what can we do for a BoxLang proof of concept for this or for that? And so a lot of excitement.
Heck yeah. And just back to real quick, I got really excited with the ColdBox 7.4 release. I thought it was just super cool that you can go in and take your traditional ColdBox handlers and your CFC files and just real quickly convert them to BoxLang classes. And it just works. It just works. So
have you done it yet?
Yeah. I was tinkering with it, and I can't remember if I had to do a framework reinit or not, but yeah, no issues at all. It just worked.
Nice. I have not played with BoxLang as much as I'd want. I've been working on the installers and doing some other things, but I can't wait.
What are you doing with all your time?
Client work.
I know.
Gotta help keep the lights on.
We do.
And support the BoxLang effort, and I'm happy to do it. Okay, so moving on to CFML updates. Probably keep this a little bit shorter because Grant and I won't shut up about Into the Box, how awesome it was, how great a time we had, and that's okay. So we'll just talk about 3 really quick blog posts. The first one, James Moberg. I'm talking about CF Timer Revisited. Let's go ahead and paste that in here. It talks about some changes he did to CF Timer in order to allow you to use it without having to enable debugging. And so I'm not going to share the screen at this point, but if you go and look at it talks about what he had to do to make changes to decouple the CF Timer from the admin debug output, because it used to be that you had to specify your IP address, but I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. But yeah, go check that out. Following that, we've got a couple of blog articles from Raymond Camden. The first one, he's talking about using Cloudflare to generate screenshots. So Cloudflare does a lot. I use Cloudflare. Got a lot of my clients use Cloudflare. Do you use Cloudflare, Grant?
Yeah, I do.
It always confuses me every time somebody will just say CF, and I'm thinking confusion, but no, they mean Cloudflare. And so Raymond's got a nice blog article talking about how to use the Cloudflare APIs to take screenshots of different web pages and have everything rendered down to what you need. And so I would say go check that out as well. And then there's one more blog entry article.
Yeah, Ray blogged about being able to zip files in BoxLang, which I want to go back and take a closer look at this, because if I saw it right, it looks like he was using there was like a compress method and an extract method. And I'm not even sure if that's actually just built right into BoxLang, if those are just available, or if you have to install some sort of a module with it. But check that out if you're interested, because he was able, just a few lines of code, to loop through and create zip files real easily in BoxLang, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you could do a lot of things in BoxLang, just a few lines of code, including.
There's so much stuff, even internally, we're having trouble trying to keep up with all the stuff that this thing does.
Yeah, no, Ken, Luis gets an idea, and like the next day we've got a new module born. It's like, oh, look at that. We do this now. Hey, look at that. We have that now. I'm excited. I'm going to be playing with some of the AI stuff that he's got set up in there with
Yeah.
BoxLang, BXAI, to do some stuff, and might do a proof of concept with that coming up here. So moving on, we are starting to run out of time. So let's talk about events really quick. We've got the next conference at Into the Box is over. We can all breathe a collective sigh of relief. We've got CF Camp coming up. In Munich, Germany, May 22nd, 23rd. There's going to be a pre-conference workshop open. Seats are limited, though, if you want to go ahead and paste that link. If you want to still get in there at CF Camp, Luis and Brad will be there. So awesome is that. I was really trying to see if I couldn't get out there this year. I ended up having some conflicts. Unfortunately, couldn't make it. But maybe next year, we will see. Following CF Camp, it's Adobe Cold Summit 2025, September 22nd, 3rd in Las Vegas. Certifications are available either the 21st or the 24th, the day before or after. And I think their call for speakers is still open. I need to check because I want to try and submit a session for that. I'll have to look at that and see. And then the only other one we'll kind of talk about is Into the Box 2026 is coming soon with blind ticket pricing. And we want to shout out to our very first Into the Box 2026 attendee registered, Mr. Aaron Weinberg. He was the winner at the conference for the raffle.
Yeah.
A free ticket to next year, and he said he's already was planning on coming anyway, and this just makes it easier.
Awesome.
So excited for Aaron. Aaron's a great guy. Really like working with him, and it'll be nice to see him again next year.
Wonderful.
So with all of that, we want to say thank you to all our Patreon supporters, to the individuals personally supporting our open source initiatives, ensure all the cool things we do with Command Box, Forge Box, Code Box, Content Box, Box. They also help fund the cloud infrastructure for things like Forge Box and our podcast. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Ortus Solutions. And don't forget, we have annual memberships. If you pay for the year, you save 10%, which is great for business everywhere. And Grant, what are some of the other perks they get?
So let's see here. Premium memberships, they can save. Bronze packages and up, they now get a ForgeBox Pro with CFcast subscriptions. All Patreon supporters get a profile badge on the community website. They have their own private forum access on the community website and a private channel in our Box Team Slack. So direct access.
Direct access. Everything but Grant's cell phone number.
Pretty much. No, they even get that too.
Yeah. Maybe not at the $10 a month level, but maybe at least at the bronze.
Yeah.
I already pasted the community link in there. And many more Patrons are up to 61 now. As always, if you want to see an up-to-date list of all sponsors on the Ortus Solutions website, go to ortusolutions.com/about-us/sponsors. We'll paste that link there. So thank you, everyone, for coming out and joining us today on the Modernize or Die podcast after Into the Box. I know we did talk about Into the Box quite a bit, but there's a lot to talk about. I feel like there's so much more that we could still talk about. David Bellinger is asking about CB Grant, if that comes with, I assume, the Patreon.
CB Grant.
I don't know if it does, but if Luis hear you say that, Luis will probably have something for you, or Brad will have something for you before too long.
CB Grant
module
has a lot of bugs. We'll say that.
Oh man, I actually won't be CB Grant. It'll probably be BX Grant. Could be a BoxLang Grant.
There you go.
And again, thank you to everyone who attending, thank you to everyone in the chat, especially those that were there at ITB. It was great seeing you last week, and it's always great seeing you now. And yeah, I think that's it. Until next week, or in 2 weeks. There we go. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.